So I guess one of the other interesting things that come out this week. So if you were playing on Steam last week, there is actually, if you notice, the Telltale games have been on sale, and yeah, Telltale have done something a bit different, where you're sort of playing through a game that's not necessarily a game. So you're playing through a story, you're making decisions, you're going through, and these type of games they've released about 6 or 7 of them now, and they're basically very similar in how the mechanics work. And for me, I've been playing a Life is Strange as well as, which is sort of another one of these kind of games. And I guess really, what are your? It'd be good to sort of get, and for the chat as well, what are your thoughts on these type of story-playing games? They're obviously doing quite well. So I guess initially to Rob, so Telltale games, story games. Why do you think that people are buying them and people are enjoying this sort of new type of format?
I really don't understand.
No.
I've tried the Walking Dead one. And realize that the choices you make mean nothing. The same outcome happens to the point where you can replay through certain sections and try every different option, and character B still dies. Like, it wasn't really an option then, it was just what I said in that conversation, which isn't really that groundbreaking. But I don't know. I know that people nowadays are talking a lot more about getting the freedom of what they get to choose to do in a game, and having that sort of feeling that your choices are important. So I guess Telltale have kind of faked that feeling really well, but I'm not sure past that.
Yeah. So Joe, have you played any of the sort of Telltale games, or any of the story-based driven ones?
Yeah, I've played quite a few of them. I think I'm not as down on them as Rob is, but obviously stinky monotoned, poo face. But I mean, I'm getting a little bit bored of the, there's the same structure in all of them, right? So you kind of have to be invested in the property that it's based on for you to, for you to get invested. I mean, I prefer obviously like the earlier ones, like Back to the Future and Sam and Max and blah blah. And then when they first did The Walking Dead, like they all looked super different as well, which was nice. But then when you got, I think the problem was like, Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, and Lord of the Thrones or whatever. It's they all look the same. They all look the same. So now, like, I'm actually quite interested. I don't play Minecraft, but this one, like, just for the fact that it looks quite different and it seems to be a comedy, I'm kind of interested in the new Minecraft one. And I'm not so down on them like Rob was saying, like the illusion of choice. It's like, even if like the destination's the same, it's just it's like taking a different route to work in the morning. It's like it's just it can spice up your day a little bit.
Change of scenery.
Yeah, you're still getting to the same place, but you might you might.
But I mean, there were games on the PS2 which actually gave you a choice, and they had an outcome which was really interesting and really good. Like some of the Shin Megami games, you could make one choice which you would think was inconsequential, and it could be the difference between the world being reborn as a perfect utopia or being taken over by demons. That's a choice, and that was important, and that was interesting.
Right.
But choosing it just seems like in this day and age we can probably do more than giving 2 different options in a conversation and pretending that is an open-ended, choice-driven game. I don't know.
Well, maybe, but then like character-wise stuff, if you can start doing doing ridiculous things that branch off in different ways, like eventually you still want Telltale games in charge of the narrative, because
they are driving more of a narrative than anything else. So yeah,
they can write a better story than, well, not me obviously, but you, Rob.
Yeah, we all know how artists are good at writing.
Yeah.
So I've had a go on. I've actually been playing Life is Strange quite a bit recently, and it is sort of one of the more different games I play. When I started playing it, I really did think it was just like Teenage Girl Simulator. So you walk around like a high school, and you've got your camera, and like the first achievement is that you got to like mess about in class. And the way Life is Strange did it is really different. So rather than just sort of going through the decisions, making them, and being like, oh shit, I pressed the wrong button, which I did about 5 times in Game of Thrones, or maybe I just regretted it after I saw what happened after it, because most of the time in that game, like, you're just fucked no matter what happens to you. Yeah, so Life is Strange, so you can rewind time and go back. So I think it really adds a really good element there. So with that, I don't have to play through the game twice. I have to go through the story twice to see what happens. I just do it, and it goes, oh well, I wonder what would have happened if I did that, and then I just rewind it back and I do it through the other one, and then I have to like sort of work out and decide which one I want to go for, which I find quite interesting.
Do you like that? Like, it did seem a bit like cake and eating it. Like I gave it a try, and it was kind of like them going like, oh, we've got so many awesome choices. Like, we need you to see all of them. So like we'll put a rewind mechanic in there. But I mean, is it getting like how far through you now? Is that kind of, does that bother you, or is the rewind stuff actually quite integral?
So I'm all the way through it, really. I'm just waiting. I've just seen people in the chat, so I'm just waiting for the 5th episode to come out now, just to finish it. I'm not gonna lie, right? I actually hated this game when I first played it, but it's got me hooked, and I don't know why. I still think I hate it, but I've just played it all the way through. So like you start off, with the time stuff, so you can see everything you make. And someone said to me, so the way you buy the game is you can buy the first episode, and then you have to buy the next four, like a season pass. You want it cheaper. So I bought the first episode, and then I played through it, and I was like, well. It was alright. It was just like I was just walking through a school with a girl, taking pictures of stuff, and it was like, oh look, you made Shelley look bad by like making a bucket of water fall on top of it. It's like, oh great, and I played through that, and then everyone was like, oh, it really gets good at the 2nd episode. So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to buy the rest of it to see what happens. Because I played it for an hour and a half or so, so I was like, well, do the next one. Bought the next bit. And it was like the same game. It was just like nothing really changed. And then I played through the next two. Because like, the story did just get me a bit hooked in. I hated it, but I just like, it's like when you're watching something and you're laughing at it that it's so bad, but you just keep wanting to see. I love to hate it. I love to hate it, I think. And I just kept playing through that game. And the fourth episode is one of the most depressing things I've ever played through. And I don't really know whether it's me making I don't think it is me making the decisions. What I really hate about it is that when it does a little like before every mission you play, it does like a little catch up over what you did before, and what it does is it misses out the choices you make. So it goes like just before the features, and you miss it before you make the choice, and then it's like that's it, and that's like the highlight bit. So they could just generically put that before every single thing, even like. What happened previously doesn't actually show you any of your previous decisions, and it's like, that just annoyed me. But yeah, no, I did. I am playing it through still. I will play the last one because I already paid for it, even though I've not got it yet. Game of Thrones as well, right? Telltale. I've played through all. You're addressing Telltale. Yeah. I bought all 5 of those. The 6th one, it's been like months. Where the hell is it? Like I paid it ages ago. Like I don't know. It's not been out for like a year, has it? Like, what's going on? But yeah, episodic games. I don't really know. Have you played through any of them, Taro?
No, never. First part, that's it.
Yeah.
Especially Telltales. Bought a couple of them. Played through the first one, then they're all the same.
Yeah.
And like Rob said, it's like decisions, but nothing happens.
Yeah.
You guys seem to be hating on them. I might have to play Devil's Aqueduct here. Fine, I think they're amazing. Telltale, if apparently you're watching. I think.
Yeah.
I might buy the Borderlands one because I like the Borderlands universe.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But,
that's what I mean. It's just like they kind of seem to like. They seem to like. Well, we'll make the same game 20 times. But we'll just make it, appeal to different
fan bases.
Just on what property they use.
Yeah.
So eventually, everyone will like one of their games.
So Telltale, if you are watching, clearly you can see, if you want to, push something our way, and we'll advertise and talk about your games to you. I think there's a. I don't think we've burnt those bridges yet.
They're going to be throwing free games at us.
Just release the ones they've already said they'll give us. That'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think you just burnt the bridge and then pissed on it, Tim.
Yeah. Well, I don't care. Telltale.
I was impressed with that. Like when I played Life is Strange, because it was like I realized like Jesus Christ, every single person's game is intolerable. Like so irritating.
They are, aren't they?
But then I was like, but it's like first all the characters are teenagers who are obviously the worst. and then it's set in a school, which is obviously the worst again. So you've got like, the worst people in the world set in the worst place.